Hello everybody, my name is Ian Kirkpattykake. I'm an author and robot, and today is something special. It's the first ever Pitch Fit event on this channel. I know, it is so serious that I'm even standing. Can you tell? It's very awkward. I don't really have a whole lot of places to go. But in case you didn't know, Pitch Fit is a new event that I want to run on this channel to bring attention to indies out there because, well, you know, it can be more than indies, but it can be really hard to get people to know that your story exists. And so what I want here is to make today all about you guys, all about writers, all about creators. So during the past 3 months, I opened up a submission that if you guys had stories that you wanted to share, leave it in the form, and then I would pitch it for you with all of the pitch information that you gave me. So maybe that you can find some readers, because, you know, the books that I read or review, you might enjoy when I didn't, and vice versa. Plus, there's only so much time that I can never get to every book anyway. So this is all about helping authors find other readers, helping their book get out there, and that's really what we're here to do today. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot more time talking about it. Let's just get into the book pitches. After 1/3 of the world goes suddenly insane, a teenage Boy Scout travels alone to reunite with his mother from psychotic murderers. Family trip on a bright spring day. The world goes insane. A psychotic rage drives the average people to attack anyone near them. Violence spares no one. A teenage Boy Scout survives alone in a world filled with inhuman danger. He sets out on a journey across Texas to reunite with his mother. Can he reach her in time? Saga of the Scout is a post-apocalyptic fantasy by Cliff Hamrick. This is the first in a series of books called A New Age Rises. Book 2 will be out by the end of this year. A couple of reviewers have said it's full of suspense. The imagery makes you feel like you are right there. Each time I would think, I'll just stop after this chapter. There was another cliffhanger and I had to keep going. Almost as soon as the book begins, you are in the thick of turmoil right along with main character. This book is suspenseful, actiony, and a little bit weird. Check it out down below. Life is tough. It gets tougher when death isn't the end. Just back from deployment in Iraq, senior airman Amy Fraze is trying to put her life back together when her Air Force Reserve section is called up to help quell rioting in South Boston. However, by the time the unit arrives, the mission is changed. Quarantine. Undermanned and ill-prepared, the quarantine starts to fail almost immediately, and Fraze finds herself in charge of a mixed bag of civilians and military personnel as they try to find their way out of the city being overrun by the dead. Outbreak Boston is a horror novel by Robert Van Dusen. It's the first novel in a series. There are 2 more called Outbreak Brave New World and Outbreak Long Road Back. To get a good feeling of the book, think of Night of the Living Dead meets Battle Los Angeles. It's horror with moments of action movie. Check it out down in the description below. Having grown soft from years on the top, the Marauders learn the hard way that their old rivals, Yellow, have more bite than bark. The conflict pops off between the gangs while Bishop, the Marauders' feckless leader, must come to terms with his own shortcomings or lose everything and everyone he holds dear. Are you sick of the good guys? Want a story where blood flows like water and where life is of value about as much as the change in your pocket? Well, welcome to Board City, a city caught in the struggle between 2 powers. On one hand, you have the Marauders, a fun-loving gang of violent sociopaths hell-bent on maintaining their hold on power and eliminating all who pose. On the other hand is Yellow, a cult of masked terrorists who want to take the whole city down into the deranged rabbit hole. Who will win the battle of the ages? Not the people of Board City, that's for sure. Urban Monarchs is a sci-fi fantasy novel by Timothy Dempsey. It's the first entry in a sequence of interconnected novels. Readers of this book are saying 5 out of 5 stars. Fast-moving action story. It's a quick read that keeps your attention and presents aliens with a twist. Looking forward to the next book. High-paced, you can find it down in the description below. Look, I feel like this one needs the hood, so this is where we're going next. When darkness strikes, the warriors of the Order rise against it. If they fail, the end begins. Meet a grim vigilante, a charismatic demon slayer, and a pair of legendary monster hunters. They've been entrusted to safeguard the world, whether they're in a crime-ridden city, a distant past, or a different realm altogether. Their job is to battle deadly creatures and fight ancient demons. They're warriors of the Order. They never surrender. But are they strong enough to resist a new darkness? Order of the Spirits Fragments is a fantasy novel by Vladimir Radojković. I might have butchered it, but I'm trying. Some of the readers of this novel have said, looking forward to more, 5 out of 5. After a little while, I got sucked in, 4 out of 5. Authentic heroes, epic fight scenes, and impressive worlds, 5 out of 5. Get some graphic novel vibes and some fantasy. Think of it as Batman meets The Witcher. This might be for you. Check it out in the description down below. Miami. I have a hat. Oh yes, friends. Oh, you can't even see it. You can't even see it with how close I have to be to the screen. But the hat is back. And it's only appropriate. Miami detective uncovers the Cold War era secret. It starts with a murder. It becomes an international crisis and brings the U.S. to the verge of war. When a girl is found dead on the streets of early 1970s Miami, Detective Harry Miller is stripped from his quiet corner of the world and called upon to investigate. The people close to the victim aren't talking. Harry quickly learns why. Signs point to a killer he hunted years ago. Ruthless weapon smuggler and underground kingpin, Hector Navarro. Harry discovers that the Soviets are funneling cash to the Navarro crime ring in order to covertly develop a mysterious new weapon in Cuba. His only option is to dust off his arsenal of high-tech gadgets, hop in his 67 Dodge Dart, and track this group of killers to the source. But Navarro and his handlers, corrupt politicians, and prying federal agents stand in his path. Silenced, a thriller novel by Kevin Allen. It's a dark, serious book with funny parts. Some of the readers have said, I am a sucker for character-driven stories, and the main character is really great, especially how he plays off of other detectives. Another said, despite being set in the past, the themes are as relevant as ever, and there is a dark dystopian technological mystery bubbling underneath the surface. If this interests you, check it out in the description below. And the final pitch for today. Charlie James is part of a special agency created by the UN to deal with demonic threats that have infected the world, using the fight fire with fire method. With his training complete and his Spectra status confirmed, he has been sent on his first solo mission. This mission is linked to his traumatic past, and he must find somebody who is dear to him. But his discoveries become more alarming as the investigation goes on, and the truth with what is happening takes a darker turn, which may not bring him any peace at all. Midnight City is a dark fantasy thriller novel by J.R. Manga. A reviewer has said, undoubtedly, this is one of the best fantasy novels I have ever read. Highly recommended. Credited to the ultimate reviewer. That is high praise. That is absolutely high praise. Now, this book is actually a novella, but the paperback version has a short story at the end. The author also has a full feature-length novel coming out later this year, and all of his works are connected, kind of like the MCU. So if you're interested in learning about a brand new system, this book might be for you. If you have any interest in any of the books that I just shared with you today, all of their links can be found in the description down below, and I urge you to check them out, support indies, and maybe find some new authors that you'll really like. There's something out there for everybody, so why not take a look? If you're an author and you would like to have your book featured in the next Pitch Fit, check out the link in the description down below, and maybe you'll end up on these beautiful virtual shelves. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an excellent weekend and great reading time. Till next time, don't die.